Salut tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. This presentation will be about accents and different ways that we spell things in French that are different than English. So let's get started. What is an accent? It's a mark placed over or under a single letter. And we've seen a couple examples before. Some of our greetings that we learned have accent marks in them, and some of the months of the year do as well. Here are a couple examples. I bolded the letters that have accents. So we have journée, which means day. This E has an accent aigu. Zéro, which means zero. This E has an accent aigu. Noël, which is a first name. This E has an accent tréma. And ça va, which is our word for how are you. This C has an accent Sadia. So we can see that the accents can go over or they can go under a letter. And they can go on vowels or they can go on consonants. So what do accents mean? Pronunciation. Sometimes accents help you figure out how to say a word. For example, this E with an accent aigu that points up, it's always pronounced like A. So brûler, passer, zéro. You see how those all kind of have the same A sound in it. And that's because they all have the same accent. Sometimes accents can indicate former spelling, so they can talk about how the word was spelled over time. For example, this E with the circumflex, which is the little like triangle one, it means that there used to be an S in the word. So we see our word fête used to be spelled fest with an S in it. And fête means like a party or a festival. So if you see that form of spelling, it helps it make sense a little bit more. Bête used to be spelled like best. And bet actually means beast, which it kind of looks like that when you have the ST in there. So it can indicate how a word has changed over time. And then there are some accents that are just part of the way that a word is spelled. It doesn't really give you any more information necessarily about pronunciation or meaning of the word. It's just part of the spelling, and it's something that we do not have in English. Types of accents. This accent aigu, it's like a line pointing up. And it can go over an E only. This is probably actually the most common accent in the French language, so it's an important one to see. Some of our greetings, like bonne journée, the one that means have a good day, it's nice and polite, it has an accent aigu over an E in that word. The accent grave, it's like the opposite kind of. It's like a line that points down, so it starts high and it goes low. And it can go over an A, an E, and a U. The circumflex, move down. The circumflex is like a little triangle, so that one's pretty easy to spot. It can go over A, E, I, O, and U, so any vowel, and that's what it looks like on all of those. When it goes over an I, it replaces the dot, so this kind of is the dot on the I. Cool. And then the Sadia, it's a little squiggly line. The way that I was taught how to make a Sadia is it's like if you make a 5, but you take that top line off, it's kind of like a straight line and then a hook. And it goes underneath the letter C, and that's the only place that it goes. Other pronunciation rules. In French, there are a lot of silent letters. So our acronym here is CAREFUL. The last letter of a word is never pronounced unless it's a C, R, F, or L. So there's in CAREFUL. Some examples of words where you actually do pronounce the last letter are avec, arc, donc, air, bonjour, sur, vif, neuf, belle, pluriel. Otherwise, a lot of times there's like an R or a T or letters that are at the end of the word that are not pronounced. So it's something to watch out for. The French pronunciation, we'll kind of get into more about pronunciation when we do the alphabet, but it is good to know just in general that there are a lot of silent letters in French. In languages like Spanish and Italian, you're really pronouncing every letter, whereas in French, it's simply not the case. There's just a lot of silent letters, and it's just the way that the language is put together. So that is all that I have for you guys on this. You guys have a Schoology assignment to do, so good luck, bonne chance, et bonne journée tout le monde.